And as Marine Sergeant Andrew Tamarisi faces more time in a Mexican prison after making his first official court appearance on gun charges this week, his lawyer now says his arrest is bringing to light some serious human rights violations.
At this point, the only thing hurting his case is that the early stages of it were not exploited enough, I believe. Right now, we have a lot of evidence that the arrest is tainted by several serious human rights violations. The further we go into evidence into that topic, the more clear it will become, I believe.
Well, here to talk about what's next, Mercedes Cohen, Fox News legal analyst, and David Schwartz, defense attorney and former prosecutor. Good to see both of you.
Great to see you.
And while that clip from the attorney was playing, I saw David nodding his head. So are you thinking that the human rights violations claim is equally strong or not, David?
Well, yeah, certainly there's a huge human rights claim here. But the fact that we're even talking about evidence and mitigating circumstances, I believe even further, this is a question of bail right now. This is a due process issue. He should have been arraigned in front of a judge within 24 hours. He should have seen the judge. His side of the story should have been told, and the judge should have set reasonable bail before we even got into the merits of this case.
But is that how it goes in Mexico?
No. And that's what I was going to say. Thank God we live in America, because due process is alive and well in this country. Not there. The process is very different there. He may be, this particular attorney is talking about human rights violations, but frankly, the process really is ad hoc. It changes from person to person. That's what's been reported, but it's really, unfortunately, this young Marine is in the crosshairs of that. So we can't compare it to the American judicial system.
With that in mind, though, how does his attorney, kind of forge his way through that legal mess there?
It's a legal mess. I mean, number one, it's a legal mess. Number two, it's a strict liability standard for bringing guns into Mexico. There are no mitigating circumstances. Either you brought the gun in, not knowing about the law is not a defense. So he has a real problem here. We need our government to get involved.
Really?
Someone should make a phone call. First of all, Mexico gets billions, tens of billions of dollars from the U.S. Someone has to make that phone call. It may have to come, apparently there has been some communication, but it has to come from the very top. Who authorizes that type of funding has to make that phone call to Mexico and say, we have a very friendly relationship. You need to let our Marine go.
Next hearing is August 4th. I mean, what does this attorney, Tamarisi's attorney, what argument does he have to drive to get this guy out of there?
This was a complete accident. This was an understandable accident by a Marine of the United States of America. He made a wrong left turn, ended up into Mexico. He was legally allowed to carry these guns in the United States, and he has to try, through all channels to get him out of this.
So let's say, Mercedes, that phone call that you mentioned doesn't happen. What's the likelihood of the judge dismissing the case?
It certainly doesn't sound like he will. I mean, because of the standard that there's imposed on these individuals who come into the country with guns, strict liability, that means he's going to serve jail time. There's no mitigation whatsoever when it comes to this particular law. And I agree wholeheartedly with what David's saying. Look, if he's there and it's a mistake, and we were talking off the record how this can easily happen on that particular highway. This Marine obviously went through the toll plaza, or maybe was pushed through the toll plaza. We don't really know the circumstances. His attorney said for the first time that there has been some shadiness with respect to his particular arrest. It may have been just that he was arrested at the border.
If we can't deal with Mexico on this situation, we're in real trouble here. We have real problems across the world. If we can't handle this situation with Mexico, we've got a problem.
Well, I mean, we know that he's been in jail since March 31st. It's more than 3 months now. And according to Sergeant Tamarisi's attorney, the order to search his vehicle, which was dated March 28th, and that's 3 days before the Marine crossed the border.
Isn't that? And there's also some report where the Mexican authorities say, oh, I'm not sure it was a mistake because we have a receipt from a hotel room. Where did this come from? So now there's this date that actually predates his coming into Mexico, and there's now this phantom receipt, which no one has seen. There's a lot that has to be gone
Look,
through.
he could be guilty of a crime here. There's no question about it. But before we even get to guilt or innocence, we have to have due process. And there needs to be a hearing, and he needs to be let out of jail and fight the charges from
David,
outside
but we
of
don't
jail.
know what the due process is. That's the problem.
There is
here.
no due process.
We're putting in our American judicial
Right.
standard in Mexico. It doesn't exist, obviously,
I
because
agree.
he's sitting in jail for 3 months without even seeing the judge at that point. 3 different attorneys. We don't know why these attorneys here in the United States. You get arrested. You have an arraignment. You appear before the judge. You get to know what your charges are. You get appointed an attorney. All of these things happen. We're in Mexico. You're sit in jail and rot for 3 months
Bail
before
is
you
set.
get anything.
Unless it's a murder case, usually bail is set.
And what's the deal with him changing out his attorneys in the beginning?
We had
Well,
there was some back and
apparently he
forth
was not
about it.
happy with the original 2 attorneys. Now he's happy with the 3rd attorney. So look, you got to be represented properly. I don't blame him for changing attorneys. So hopefully he has the right attorney now.
Okay,
Scary.
we'll keep an eye on it. David Schwartz,
Thank you.
Mercedes Colwin. You look very dapper, and you look beautiful today,
Oh
my
gosh,
friend.
thanks,
Thank you.
Arcel. I take no credit. It's Fuzi and Danielle.
They do rock, I'll say. Okay, sorry about that, Eric.
That's all right, Arthel. You look beautiful too. Well, have you heard about the Germans